Boys, let's get it going here, baby. Let's get it going. I had a bit of mic things, but we're good to go now. Hello, sir. Hey, guys, how you going? So today on BKRsport, we are back here for another SuperCoach video. These videos are usually quite chill. Obviously, our audience is normally here for the streams of the games and for our tipping and whatnot in the vlogs. So usually this is just a bit more of a kickback stream when we look through SuperCoach and go through plays in your teams, in my team. Obviously, I'm going to be looking at, this is what I use as my time to look at SuperCoach and go through some analytical opinions and whatnot based on all the different players. Talk about trades, ins, outs, shake it all about. Obviously, there's the Sharkies with a bye this week as well. So if you've got some Sharks players in, which you should have at least one Sharks player in, and that is Nico Hines. If you don't have Nico Hines in, well, then you're in a bit of an issue, mate. You've got a bit of an issue there, so that's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. But today, guys, quick little, obviously, preface. The last couple of weeks, if you've been following on, we are going to be looking to get Nathan Cleary in alongside Hines today, because we do have plenty of money in the bank there. Now, we have been going through trades, but in the same sense, as I said, this is really the last week where I'm going to go full on with trades, and then we're going to slow down quite a bit, and these videos will be more kind of helping you guys out and talking you through what you guys are looking at, because I'm pretty okay with where my team is at for the most part. I think before we start the stream, I will do my substitutions and whatnot, because obviously Tino Fa'asuamaleaui and Dave Fafita, they're on the bench. Now, they had the bye, so we'll bring them in, because right now my score is looking likely to get 1,009, but that will change. That will change when I put those players in there. But yeah, look, obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you are new around here. Shoot through your comments, shoot through your questions. Talk me through what you're thinking of doing this week. And yeah, by the way, the Tigers are a mess. The Tigers are a mess there. But tomorrow night, we're going to have a stream, which is the Roosters versus Storm. Looking forward to that one. That should be, Storm versus the Roosters down there at Amy Park. We'll start up half an hour before that, so obviously we'll get cracking on then. But in regards to the team right now, obviously, let's go quickly have a look here at what happened last week. So Robson got 74, which I'm pretty okay with. He's not going crazy this year, but he's a consistent high scorer, so that's what you want there. I've got Payne Huss, who obviously got 95. Utul Kamanu came in for Tino Fa'asuamaleaui, who I bring in this time. Very happy with my front row forwards, man. I've got no problem with that at all. And Utul Kamanu, 43. It's not great, but in the same sense, it is what it is. You will take it. I think the biggest loss this week was the fact that we didn't put William Warbrick as one of our benchies over the likes of Bryce Cartwright or whatnot. But Bryce Cartwright, we all know, I've been saying to keep him in there until he does look like he's going to be going to the bench. But he is staying, apparently. Even though Sean Lane is back for the Eels, Bryce Cartwright is staying on the bench. Staying in the starting team for the Eels, which is quite interesting. We would have thought that Ryan Maddow would have been there. Sean Lane would have also been in the back row. And then Jermaine Hopgood in the 13, which is an interesting one, because we do have Jermaine Hopgood, as should pretty much everyone, because he's gone up like bloody 200k. It's ridiculous how much money he's gone up. But that does provide a question mark in regards to today's video, because we will talk about if Jermaine Hopgood is a sell or if we should keep him. Obviously, Cam Murray, we were considering, the trade there, but he is a gun. We stuck strong with him, and he got 88. I'm pretty happy with that one for sure, especially in a loss and the fact that he's not scoring a try. 88 points, and we all know that Cam Murray is good for a try as well. We all know that he is good for some good points. So, although it is tempting after the weeks leading up to the game that he had against the Storm, overall 88 points is definitely something you like to see there. And they play a Doggies team this week where they definitely could be monstering through the forwards, with the fact that the Dogs forward pack is very, very weak at the moment. So I think Cam Murray definitely could be on for a big score. Elias Katoa, if you don't have him in your team, you're going to miss out big time. I think his break even is pretty good right now. Yeah, 44. He's been averaging like a gun at 70, and that's without Jerome Hughes. Now, Jerome Hughes and him, as we saw in that game a few weeks back, I think it was against the Doggies actually, he can find a line very, very well. Like when Jerome Hughes is there, he just gets him into the right position. So I've been waiting for Jerome to come back to really experience Elias Katoa at his full pelt, because I think he got over 100 points in that game against the Dogs, and they got pumped in that one. So really excited for him. Like I said, Jermaine Hopgood's going to be a real big question mark today. Dave Fafita comes in this week, obviously. We've got Bryce Cartwright still there, who is definitely trade bait, but he is still starting. We have no idea what the minutes are going to be looking like, though, with the fact that Sean Lane is back now, and Maddow is the 13, and Hopgood's on the bench. So we definitely could be considering to trade him today. And, forward, he only got 43. 43, but in the same sense, Jackson Ford will be a solid player that I'm not even looking to trade yet. He's a good player, man, and that was a tough game against the Sharkies. They got the win, but it was definitely a tough game there against the Sharks. Nico Hines, obviously, we're leaving. Ilias, we're definitely looking to put up to Cleary today. The 5'8s are really frustrating, though. Like, obviously, we'll put Joshy Schuster in here into that 5'8 role. But yeah, it's the only real concerning part of this team right now. Like, there is the thought process of not going Cleary, sticking it out with Hines, which would effectively save us during the Origin period because Ilias won't play and you'd put him in there because I believe Nico Hines will get that 6 and I believe Nathan Cleary will get that 7. So that means you would be without a halfback. So it comes down to whether you want to kind of it comes down to whether you want to do that and be ahead of the Origin period or be able to get both those players points. It's a tough one, and we'll talk about that today. But yeah, that 5'8s are definitely concerning. Val Holmes, Jackson Paulo, Hamiso is definitely I'm going to drop him right down, especially with the state the Dolphins are in right now. He got a try and only got 43 points. So yeah, worrying signs of Hamiso, but he's made some good money now, so you definitely could be looking to get him out. Alofiana Khan-Pereira. Now, this is a big one here for everyone. Alofiana Khan-Pereira has a break-even of -67, and he is starting. There was rumours that Cameron Marlowe might be starting over the top of him. He is not. Alofiana will be starting, so you need to get him in this week. That's absolutely 100% for sure. No doubt about that. Will Warbrick is great. He's fine there, man. You definitely wouldn't be looking, and he's got a -40 break-even as well. So, yeah, happy to leave him in there. And then we're not even looking... look, I understand Tedesco's not playing this week, guys. But the fact of the matter is that he's lost a decent bit of money. He's going to break in 127. He's going to drop even more. That benefits you guys. If you haven't got him, just wait him out. You could even arguably wait until after Origin for Tedesco, and he will have lost quite a bit of money. But there's no point, there's no real point getting rid of Tedesco for me unless you wanted to go to like a Reece Walsh. But in the same sense, there's also question marks whether he might be able to play Origin as well. So it'd be a bit pointless in my personal opinion, and Tom Weaver's is fine. But let's go have a look at the chat here. Let's go see what you guys are saying. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it. Let's just move this over here. Let's just move this over here and put this like that, and there we go. All right. Julia Shepard says, hi, hello, Julia. Daniel Lane says, morning all or evening, wherever you are. We're all evening over here, mate. We are 6:08 p.m. here in Queensland, God's country. Up the Dragons says, up the Titans. Daniel Lane says, damn, adverts. That's it. Harrison Moses says, hi, hello, mate. Nathan Johnson says, damn, Hopgood isn't starting. Yeah, Hopgood isn't starting. It's quite painful there. It is definitely quite painful for sure. Let's just do this. I'm not trading him, but I'm just clicking here so that you guys can go to the trading section. So I don't know if you can see that, but I do have 292,000 up there and 36 trades still left. But I do genuinely believe I may be biting a 3-trade bullet here today and then just not trading for a little bit. When is Hopgood a sell? Up the Dragon says, I don't believe he is. Well, I think that we have to weigh it out. I was actually speaking to Guru today on Instagram. I was speaking to him and I said, listen, what are you thinking here? Because it is a tough one there in regards to Jermaine Hopgood, where he has been dropped to the bench and he has been just an out-and-out starter throughout the season. He only got the 47 there last week, obviously, but he has been just simply an out-and-out starter. So it is a frustrating one for sure if you do have Jermaine Hopgood because you don't know whether to play him. Off the bench, we don't know. We just don't know. So I would hold him for sure. I would wait it out a little bit, not panic sell, not panic trade. But it is tempting. It is tempting considering that Bryce Cartwright's starting. But I don't think that Bryce Cartwright will start over him. Will start over him for much longer because you'll put Ryan Maddow there when they realise that Maddow's not really a lock. He's a back rower and Hopgood is the lock there. Daniel Lane said, I don't actually do this. I just enjoy your content on rugby league and information on players in the NRL. Appreciate it, man. Well, look, the SuperCoach effectively just relates directly to the to the game of the NRL itself. So overall, when you're looking at videos like this, you are seeing player analytics and thought process and whatnot. Tarek says, Walsh in or sell? So if you go have a look here at Walsh, let's go here to, there he is. So Reece Walsh here is at 720,000. He's already got up 165,800. Let's go have a look at his break-even and whatnot. So his break-even for this week, how can we find, where's his break-even on here? Where is his break even on here? Does it have it on this side, or is it career stats? Not sure. No, it's not. All right. So am I missing something here? I'll break him 40. So he's going to break that. He's going to go off even more money. But in the same sense, you'd be jumping on quite late. You would be jumping on quite late. But it's not like their schedule is that difficult overall. Obviously, they've got Canberra. They're going to get slapped by the Titans next week. Parramatta, South, Manly. They start to get to a tougher one in about 4 weeks' time, obviously. But overall, if you want to, like Canberra is who Penrith just absolutely annihilated. So if Penrith can absolutely annihilate them, and you believe the Broncos are going to continue on with it this season, then yeah, Reece Walsh is the buy. But realistically, you'd be having to look at trading like a Tedesco or someone like that, a Trbojevic kind of deal. And I'm just keeping those two guys in. But who are your fullbacks? I would need to know who your fullbacks are to kind of have a good read about that. Nico Hines says, Hamiso to Marciu. Pretty sure everyone already owns a Camprera. That's not true at all. A lot of people sold him because they thought that Ken Mamala was going to be taking him out. Fact, right? There was a lot of rumours last week, and also a lot of people sold Alofiana Camprera after the first 2 weeks because he wasn't living up to the expectations. I don't think he scored I don't think he scored a try, did he? Oh, he scored 1 try against the Dragons, didn't score against the Tigers, got like a 2-point score in that game against the Tigers, and then didn't do it in the second game. So, you think you're obviously talking a bit of shit, but the fact of the matter is that a lot of people actually did trade him out. So yeah, you do need to get him in if you haven't. Tarek says, Schuster back? Yeah, Schuster is back. Schuster is back for the team. So let's just quickly, actually, before we do look into the trades and whatnot, let's just make my substitution so that I know my team is looking okay. So first of all, let's sub out Tino for Stefano Utukamanu. You've got any buys here? Well, Hopgood, I'm going to have to do this first of all. And then, I have to figure that stuff out. I'm going to get rid of Bryce Cartwright, though, because I don't trust these two at the moment. But if I was going to trust one of them, I would go Hopgood. Nico Hines on the buy, so I swapped him out for Ilias, but again, I will be trading in Cleary for Ilias, I would assume, unless I decide to not do that. Isai Katoa and Schuster, I definitely will put Schuster, but Schuster is taking on Manly. Schuster is taking on Manly, but then again, I can't trust that Dolphins team when they've got basically no halfback right now. Val Holmes, Jackson Paulo, Hamiso. I'll put Hamiso out here for Alofiana Camprera, but I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be getting rid of Hamiso. But I'll be dropping him off. I'm not going to be getting him, trading him out for somebody who I would expect to be starting. I want someone who I can just drop off so I can get money to upgrade elsewhere, because we made good money on him, and take the reserve off of Tedesco. And you'd probably, based off of this team right now, I'm going to take it off of Hines as well. Based off this team right now, you go Jermaine Hopgood, you go Utukamanu, and the other one you would do would probably be maybe Warbrick. I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one there. And I'll take the captaincy off him, but we'll do that at the end of the video. We'll do that at the end of the video there. Probably a good call, Jay. Tyrox says, I've got Turbo and Walsh. You got Turbo and Walsh. I'd leave it, dude. I'd leave it for sure. Yeah, he's got a great game against the Raiders this week. As much as I love my Titans, he has a great potential game against the Titans next week, even though I back my boys in. Fact of the matter is that on potential alone, there's no way you'd be trading Reece Walsh this week. If you wanted to do that, you'd be quite silly. So no, you definitely keep Reece Walsh in there with Tom Trbojevic. And who else are you going to get into that fullback position anyway? Where are you looking to upgrade somewhere else in your team? Is that what you're trying to do, or are you just trying to get the cap? Because he's going to go up again. He's not going to get less than 40 against the Raiders. The Raiders have been dreadful. If the Raiders get a surprise win, fantastic. But he's not going to get a sub 40 against the Raiders. So he will go up money again this week. He will go up money. By the way, if you don't have Nico Hines, this is your last. Next week will be your last week to get him, because he has a break even of -3, and obviously he's already costing 902,600. So if he gets a really good score next week, you're in the shit. So you either get him in this next week, as in now, or next week. I'd wait personally till next week, or you don't at all. No, Alofiana Camprera is playing. Alofiana Camprera will be playing for the Titans against the Dragons on Sunday. Yeah. Alden Peace says, David Feeder, first try scorer for us Titans. I hope so, mate. I hope so. Big Dave, he hasn't scored a try yet this season. He's been great this season. He has been really good throughout the season so far. However, David Feeder has not scored a try just yet. So, yeah, no, hopefully he could be on for for a good one there. You could even look to doing, a captaincy. You really could. You could be looking to put a captaincy on him, but you could also be looking to put a captaincy on Tengifasa Malawi against the Dragons, who did score over 100 against them when they played it in round 2. So, the ones you'd be looking at, however, obviously Cleary going to be taking on the Manly Seagulls, who are leaky in defence. So you definitely, when I get Cleary in, could be looking to captain Cleary, which is probably the most likely option there. You've got Valentine Holmes taking on the Dolphins. Look, the Cowboys have not been impressive, but he could definitely have a big banging score. Lofiana Khan-Pereira you wouldn't look at. It's just too much of a risky play. Tom Trbojevic against Manly. I don't believe so. I don't think that's the way. Payne Haas against the Raiders is a great shout. However, with Payne Haas, he is a risk of not coming off the final 10 minutes if they're up by 50. Right, which is a potential in that game. So Payne Haas is a very, very big shout. Crazy that he's probably going to go up more money as well. But yeah, Payne Haas at 747,500. I believe this is the two best front rowers in SuperCoach. I think you need, realistically, those two guys. They're set and forget. I won't look at trading my SuperCoach forwards, for sure. Tyreek says, upgrade halves, Hines and Ilias, but I've got no cash. You need to downgrade elsewhere, man. Yeah, you definitely need to downgrade elsewhere. So let's do this, because this is what I'm going to do. I will think about the no halves in Origin when it comes to it, if I have to, because I'm not going to trade for probably the next 3 weeks. I'm not going to lie, unless there's a big injury. I'm not going to trade for the next 3 weeks. So that's just a bit of a thought process there for the upcoming weeks, guys. Don't expect to come to this video and see me trading. It'll be more about helping you guys out and what your thought processes are with your team. Because I just want to kind of go hard right now. I'll be down to 33 trades and then bang, leave it for a little bit. So if I was to do this, the first thing I'd have to look at, where is Nathan Cleary here? Where is Cleary? Why can I not find him? Oh, there he is, right there. All right. So basically, again, what we do here, so we've got 200 and... Oh, hold on. I want to do that again just so that I can show it. Hold on, this one. All right, so we've got 674,300. Nathan Cleary is at 771,800. So that means that I need to obviously lose 100k here from a player or two to really work him in. Now, if I was looking at something, I really could be looking at the likes of trading Bryce. He's got a break even minus 20, of 29. You could still make some money on this guy. And Jermaine Hopkins going to stay, but I really think that it's probably more worthwhile to do Bryce Cartwright to Zach Hosking here, who is about 40k more. So I would have to drop off 141,200. Now, if I was to do that, I would be looking at a guy like Amisa Tabuai-Fidow here, who I do this. If I did Hamisa Tabuai-Fidow, who's at 490,100, we've got 348,900 left in the bank there. Let's take this down to 350 so that I can get a good idea for what range we're looking at. And the range we're looking at is Tomo Eisenhu, James Salmon, not Jaden Ockenbaugh. Those guys on the bench, you wouldn't really look at them. Remus Smith is a potential there. But in the same sense, he doesn't usually score a great deal well. Brendan Elliott starting, but he won't start for long. Carl Fell is just not the case there. So realistically, and Jared Croker is starting, but he's not going to start for long there. Hayes Dunster is starting. He's on the wing as well. That's not a bad shout, Hayes Dunster. Hayes Dunster, 234,000 is not a terrible shout. Again, I'm not looking to play him. I'm literally just looking to downgrade so that I can fit Cleary and also Zach Hoskins into this team. That's what I'm looking to do here. Because he hasn't had a game yet, and he's taking on the Tigers, the Bulldogs, Broncos, Newcastle, Gold Coast, Canberra. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the next 6 weeks are against teams that you could expect Hayes Dunster to score pretty well. You could assume Hayes Dunster could score pretty well in those weeks there. So that is a good shout, 234,000, which would mean that you would also still have another 120,000 basically to your name even after the Hayes Dunster trade. That's pretty impressive there. Ockenbaugh, shush. I'm not getting Ockenbaugh. I just feel as the Tigers and Eels are playing the Monday. It's a public holiday. Yeah, and it's great. The NRL actually came out, I think today or yesterday to say that they're considering bringing back the Monday game for when we have 18 teams, which is great news. Obviously, that would mean that we'd only have Tuesday and Wednesday with no footy, which is fantastic, but it would be really difficult with schedule to work out teams and short turnarounds and whatnot. I'd take Remus Smith. I personally believe if I was to do anything, I'd go Hayes Dunster because he is starting for the Eels. Like, he is starting for the Eels there. Historically doesn't score well against Tigers. I don't really care. Like, the fact that I'm not going to play him, but I think that he could also go up a bit of money. Because, again, you go and have a look at this schedule here for Hayes Dunster, and he does have he has the Tigers, the Bulldogs, the Broncos, the Knights, the Titans, and the Raiders. Let's go have a look at his career stats there. Against the Bulldogs, high score of 27. See, like, this is okay. Like, this is fine. High score of 70 against the Titans. High score of 82 against the Storm. High score of 36. Sorry, his high score is 16 against the Tigers, but he hasn't played a great deal of games. He's only played 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, all of them aren't the greatest players, Kenan. But again, I'm not looking for a starter. I'm not looking for a starter here. I'm looking for a guy that might be able to make money, but I'm just dropping off Hamiso because I'm not going to play Hamiso. I think that the Dolphins on a downward trajectory, they're going to a tough run, and I think that it's the smartest move to get off Hamiso and to get Hosking in, which is a big play, and to get Nathan Cleary in, which is an even bigger play. I think it's worth the go. Nathan Don says Josh Adokar buy. I personally would say no. Like, he is either massive boom or massive bust. If he doesn't score a breakaway try, you're probably not going to see it. I think Adokar is you need to just understand what you're going to get from him. You do. You just need to understand that sometimes you will get a pretty good score, and then sometimes you just will not. You know what I'm saying? So, Also, Zach Hoskins minus 55 break even as well. But he's working really well at this Panthers team. I'm really excited to see what Zach Hosking does with this Panthers team at the moment, because he's been absolutely firing, scoring tries, and, have a look at his earliest 2 scores. His first 2 scores here, he has got a 117 and an 80. Right, so he is going to potentially go up 100k here to 566. They're projecting him to effectively get to around the 663,000 mark. I don't know why they've got a projection of him losing 164,000 against the Dragons when he's going to break even of 25 and will go up more. But cool. Oh, cool. I don't really understand that one. Sorry, a break-even of 63 against the Broncos, and his projected score of 70. So how is he going to drop up 164? I don't know. I think they've lost the plot there. But, yeah, 100%. Oh, man. Your favourite, J.A. Your favourite. Olivia says, it's full moon tomorrow. Just watch out for all the Muppets. We have Muppets every day. We don't need to... wait for a full moon for Muppets. We get them every single day. Look, it's not even full moon yet, and we've already got one. Tyrus, would you recommend any other halves instead of Cleary and Hines to try and get some more cash? Let's have a look. So let's remove Cleary for a second here to go have a look here, and take away this filter. Take away that filter there. So you're looking more so at the cash area. You're looking more so at the cash. Select a halfback. Select a halfback. Okay, now I'm going to have to get filters. Filters, halfback. Like, Sean Johnson obviously is 200k cheaper than Nathan Cleary, and he is playing really, really well right now. I personally wouldn't go Ben Hunt, but I guess he's playing the Titans. But that's, I'd rather go SJ 14k more, really, right now with the form that he's in. Jackson Hastings at the Knights is a really, really big one. That is quite a significant amount cheaper than everybody else at 501,000. Is the starting 7, is effectively their main player at Newcastle. So I think that Jackson Hastings probably could be the go. If Tyson Gamble was fit and healthy, then you could be considering him. But obviously he got injured and he has a concussion, so he will not be playing this week either. If you look at Luke Brooks, you're a Muppet, and that's pretty much how it is. So let's go have a look at a round 5 average here. Sean Johnson averaging 76.2. Nathan Cleary averaging 73.5. Jackson Hastings is actually quite low. He's down here with a 51.6 average, so maybe not. He has a 3-round average of 60.3, however. So if you look at the 60-round average, he goes up a little bit. Nothing too spectacular, though. He goes to the number 9. But I guess if you're looking for a cheapy halfback who's going to get you production at times, then I definitely would be looking at Hastings. You are getting him at that price for a reason. Like, you can't be expecting hundreds frequently at 501k. But if you want to get some money, yeah, I would say 100%. I'd look at him. But I'm going to put Cleary back in for the time being. Cleary back in for the time being. Let's do that and remove that. There we go. And then go back down to 350. So I've still got that filter there. Bang. Done. Is Jerome Luai by? Jerome Luai's not been great, man. Jerome Luai really hasn't been anything else. Let's go have a look at what he's kind of doing right now. Let's go have a look at what he's doing as we speak. So Schuster, around 5 points, or even go around five round average here. So Luai, oh, that's actually got my filter on. Hold on. That's got the filter on. Clear filter, get rid of that. So Luai sits as the 11th best 5'8 right now in SuperCoach. Got a 77 against the Raiders where they scored 50 points. So that should tell you enough that they scored a lot of points there and didn't really rely too much on Jerome Luai. 529,000, you know, what's his break even looking like? His break even's at 58. It's just not really, you know, it's just, you've got better options. Like Luai, 529,000. For an extra 30 odd K, you get Matty Burton. For literally 30,000 less, you get Jackson Hastings, who is a dual position as well. I wouldn't personally go Luke Keary. Even Ezra Mann, who I wouldn't personally go, is only, you know, for $2,000 more, so it's still worth it. Adam Dewey is all over the shop. I wouldn't even look at Dewey whatsoever. Yeah, I think that realistically, it's just these three guys that you're looking at there in Cameron Munster, Dylan Brown and Cody Walker, but they're all too expensive for you. But again, you can look at putting Cody Walker in, 571,000. That's pretty good, man. 571,000 for Cody Walker. He'll go up. What's his break even? I reckon his break even will be quite low. 21, yeah. So he'll go up, but he's at 571. So if you've got the cash for Cody Walker, who is much cheaper than... Oh, sorry, he's only 40K, 30K more than Jerome Luai, I would go Cody Walker for sure. Cowboys fans, Martin, you predicted got 130K. Yeah, that's fine. I'm getting on Zach Hosking because Zach Hosking is predicted to go 107,500. Happy with that, and I'm also getting in Cleary. I don't think that I need to necessarily jump on that one right now. I'm pretty okay with all this, and I'm looking to get rid of Hamiso to drop him off and potentially bring in Hayes Dunster for that cash grab. Is Josh King a buy? People have been talking about, let's go into, he would be in the locks, right? He would be in the locks, right? Oh, yeah, Josh King, in the second row. He is a lock, but he's in the second row department here for the game. Josh King, 550, he's got an average of 9, he's got an average of 71, which is actually really good. For 550K, 800, what's his schedule coming up look like, though? Watch his schedule. I would wait on Jojo for Feed Ultimate Peace Law for sure. I would wait on him. I was expecting him to come back a lot later than he has come back. I wasn't expecting my boy Jojo back already, which is crazy. But he's not starting, obviously. Also, in regards to Jojo, I think he's our best winger at the club. However, the Titans wingers have been great so far in Philip Sammy and Lofiana Khan-Pereira. I do believe that there's a potential that Sammy goes back into the centres. But then again, like, it's hard because that back line... It's like Jojo will come back in. Maybe he might come in for Loffy. Everyone's talking about Ken Mamalo. I think Jojo comes in for Loffy. And, the cash grab that we're going to really get with Loffy this week. Like, Loffy is going to go up. Predicted Loffy will go up. If he gets a 48, 98,800. If he gets like a 100, he is going to go up like, 160, 170. It's going to be, if he gets a scoreline above 100, he'll probably go up nearly 200K, right? So, like, it will be a really nice cash grab on Loffy, but I do worry that when Jojo comes back, Loffy will go. I think Loffy will go. Philip Sammy's also great. Philip Sammy, he's a diamond, man. He is a diamond, man. He is a great dude. He is a great dude. But let's get rid of this one. So my answer to that would be, I personally wouldn't go Josh King. He has a 96, a 55, a 34, a 75, and a 95. Decent average, but there is a couple of those cheeky little 55s and 34s there that aren't exactly fantastic to see. Projected score of... That's insane, actually. The Warriors have a good defense, man. To have a projected score of 109 against the Warriors is pretty unfair for Greg Marzhew. That's pretty unfair. I would be expecting less. I'd be expecting like a 70, 80, 70, because the Warriors' defense has been good. I know they gave up quite a few points to the Sharkies, but they've been better than that suggests. Is Hop going to sell? No, I went through that before, Cowboys fan. I don't believe so. I personally don't believe so. And I was speaking to the Rugby League Guru today about it as well, personally. And I asked him that very question. I said, what are you thinking? Because I'm thinking no, but also it's a worrying thing. And we both kind of came to the agreement. after basically he said, no, I think it's a bit of a hold, we both agree that basically we just need to wait and see what's happening with this Eels team. We have no idea what's happening with this Eels team. Brad Arthur is using his substitutions and whatnot really interestingly. Maybe this might be just a 1 week kind of thing to see if Hopgood, is better off the bench, or see if Maddo can play in that lock position and they can use Bryce Cartwright. I think that it's a 1 week thing, and then we do see Bryce Cartwright go to the bench and Maddo go to back row, and then Hopgood into that 13. That's my opinion personally. It is frustrating because obviously he is taking on a terrible Tigers team, but I also think there is a genuine opportunity there to still put a reserve on him, because he will probably come on for a decent amount of minutes in my personal opinion, and could still bank up some points. I still back him in. I still back him in personally. Nathan Johnson says Jacob Preston is a buy. He's cheap as he got 108 points in the weekend. I think you're a little bit late to the party, man. I'm getting on the Zach Hosking train, choo-choo, but I'm pretty certain you are a little bit late to the party here in regards to Jacob Preston. Jacob Preston got, so he's on 476,000. So it really does come down to whether you go for Zach Hosking or Jacob Preston, because Zach Hosking has a minus 55 break even, and he costs 458,800 in comparison to Jacob Preston, who is 20,000 more and has a break even of -3. So I believe the better play is actually Hosking at the Panthers. I think the better play is, but Preston has been very good. Obviously, he was a cheapie. He's already got up 275,000. If you got on him at the start, you'd be very, very happy. He's still going to keep on banking up more money. But I think that if you're not on the Jacob Preston wagon right this second, I think it's not too late, but I think the better play is actually to go for Zach Hosking, who is scoring very good numbers too. Scored 100 and also scored an 80, and this will be his first price rise. Ultimate Peaceful says Sean Johnson. But I think that Cody Walker, if you're going for a 5'8" around that area, you go Cody Walker. If you're going for a man around that area, you'd be looking more so at the Cody Walker section. James Paul said I got lucky with Preston going early. Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. You killed it, mate. You definitely killed it with that one. And I'm pretty lucky with Jackson Paulo too. Like Jackson Paulo, he went up a decent little bit this week. He's got a break in of 6 as well. I got rid of Suoli'i for Jackson Paulo because I'm tentative with the Roosters situation with Joseph Suoli'i and whatnot. So I brought him in and he came out and got 87, and he will continue to go up some money. So I missed out on the 69 cash grab, but I got 99.9k there. He's predicted to go up another 73.4k here. I think he's scored a try in every single one of his games so far. He's been really good for that Roosters team, and the Roosters have been struggling, and yet he's still scoring. He scored a 26, then he got a 91, 101, and then 87. So Jackson Paulo is still a buy, but he is now. I probably wouldn't say he's a buy if you haven't got him. I wouldn't say he's a buy. There's no real point. But the schedule will. The schedule is actually kind of tough here for the Roosters. They had the Rabbitohs, the Eels, the Storm, who are a better team than people give them credit for, the South, the Eels, Melbourne Sharks, and then they have the Dragons, and it gets a little bit easier after that. But yeah, wow. All right, so yeah, I'd say Jackson Paulo is not a buy right now, because that's a hefty chunk, 626,000 as a hefty chunk, but you will get some good price there as well. Paul's going to proving to be a bit of a POD for sure. Yeah, very big point of difference. I don't think many people have him. If they do have someone in that Roosters backline, it's probably going to be Tedesco, or it's specifically in regards to the centre wingers, you're looking at a Suoli'i, yeah. Aldo Peaceful says, talk about Paulo, he's playing way better than he was at the Rabbitohs. Yeah, Paulo's been good, man. Yeah, no, like I said, he's been scoring tries pretty freely there at the Roosters. It just seems like it's working out better for him. The criticism isn't coming, and I feel like the Roosters as a club deal with criticism a lot better than the Rabbitohs do. And that's not a shot at the Rabbitohs. That's just me saying the Roosters as a club are constantly being thrown shit at for the fact that, too much. They've got no salary cap. Constantly being thrown shit out for not having fans. I feel like that the Roosters get given a lot more shit than Rabbitohs, so they are able to handle that kind of pressure a lot more. And Jackson Paulo's obviously come into that system, and it's working out pretty well for him. Cowboys fan says, is Isaiah Katoa a hold? Oh, Isaiah Katoa? I think that if you can get rid of him, get rid of him. If you can, like, he's going to go up again this week. I think there's more pressing issues. I think there is way more pressing issues right now than Isaiah Katoa. Realistically as well, but there's no 5'8", that's 450k. I was thinking I could put Schuster into the back row and then whatnot, but realistically, because I don't want to get rid of Elias Katoa. I would say that if you can get rid of Katoa, yes, but I think there's more pressing issues in your team more than likely than Isaiah Katoa out this week. He will get his break in at 21. He'll be fine in that regards, man. He will be fine in regards to that. So you don't have to stress too much about that. Think about it next week. When do the Dolphins have their bye? By the way, guys, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. Like I said, this is more of a chill stream comparatively to what all the other streams that we do. Round 11. So they've got Cowboys, Souths, Titans, Canberra, and Sharks. I would trade next week. I'm not going to, because I'm not going to use another trade next week, but I would, 5'8" is a wasteland at the moment, James Paul. You are absolutely right. I would wait another week. I would wait another week to get rid of Isaiah Katoa. At least get this little extra 10, 20k. If he gets a big score like an 80, that will give him some extra little, moolah for you to work it around. But I would say that, definitely hold for now. Hold for this week. Cowboys fans, I wasn't sure I'm targeting Munster as his price is dropping. Wasn't sure. What's Munster's price? What's happening with Munster? Let's go have a look. So Munster is at 809,400. Got a 74. Lost 38,000 already, which is good. Definitely a break even of 98. But then again, the Roosters aren't exactly the best team in the comp right now. They have Manly, the Warriors, Rabbitohs, Broncos. Ooh. I reckon he could keep dropping. Yeah, I reckon he could keep dropping. I reckon you could look. Personally, I would say you could look till after Origin. I would say after Origin might be ideal there. Because Roosters, Manly, New Zealand, Souths, Broncos, bye, Dolphins, Cowboys. I think that you can wait. Yeah, I reckon you could wait there. And he does have a pretty good stretch here late. With Canberra, St. George, Titans, and potentially a choking Broncos at that stage. So, I don't know. I think maybe you could wait around that Origin period there, personally. Because, as we said, 5'8" is a wasteland. Obviously, Munster is a very, very big pickup. Obviously, Dylan Brown is also. And, like I said, I think Cody Walker could be the play right now in the 5'8s. I really do. He's averaging 54.4. He is currently, $250,000 less than Munster. I know he's averaging 18 less, but in the same sense, Cody Walker's schedule coming up, as we saw before, he's got the Bulldogs, the Dolphins, Panthers, Broncos, Storm, Tigers. Besides that Panthers and Broncos game, he can score well against the Dogs. The Dolphins can score well against Panthers. We all know it. Broncos, we don't know what they'll be like. And then the Storm and the Tigers, who have been leaking points, both those teams. I know the Storm had one good defensive effort against the Rabbitohs, but overall, who is his team, overall the Storm leaked 38 points just 3 weeks ago to the Titans. So it's not like that team is completely there just yet. Tyrox, I got Cleary coming in next week. Yeah, I got Cleary coming in this week. I need, again, guys, it's not as easy a thought process in regards to Cleary and Hines if you don't have one of them, because again, both of these guys will be out for Origin. So if you don't feel the need to do it, then I would nearly say don't do it. If you could risk not having, I would say you'd risk over, I reckon you would risk Cleary over Hines personally, especially with the break-even that you're about to see, with the -3 there. But I just think that with Origin coming up, if you don't, I know I'm looking at potentially getting him in this week because I do need, there's no other halfback that I'd really be looking at. Let's do this. Let's take him back out again for a second. And let's take Nathan Cleary out. If I wanted to, there's no one really there that jumps out at me at all. There's no one here that jumps out at me. Sean Johnson's just, for me, I don't want to do that play because there could be, the Warriors could, I think that there's definitely going to be a good break even here, -21 for sure. Which will help out long term, but I don't want to take that risk on not having Cleary personally. I just think there's multiple options. You don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. So what are you doing during Origin then? Exactly right, Tyrock. It's a great question. I think that, again, I'm not looking to trade again for another another 3 weeks, another month, right? So I definitely will have a lot more of an equalize. Like I've already, I'll be down to 33 trades already. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to trade for ages. It'll even itself out. A lot more people will catch up in regards to the trades department. I went hard early, waited it out, was patient, only for injuries. And then when Origin comes, I'll be prepared. I'll be prepared for that. Because you got to remember as well, as long as you have 13 players in total in your team, right? Sorry, 17 players in total in your team that is playing in the game, because you will get auto emergencies, right? That's including the guys that aren't going to be classed here. Shakai Mitchell will be back by that point as well. So, hopefully, like, it's hard. Origin gets hard, bro. Origin gets hard. Origin very much gets hard. Walker may play Origin if Luai doesn't pick this game up. No way. No way, bro. No chance. Zero chance. Walker's not playing Origin. It's either Nicho Hynes or Matt Burton or Luai. Those 3 are ahead of Cody Walker. Cody Walker will not play Origin. I'll give you that. I'll tell you that right now. Cody Walker will not play Origin this year. It'll be Nicho Hynes in the 6, in my opinion. It'll be... I got Nicho Hynes in the 6. And if Nicho Hynes isn't in the 6, then I think Luai is the 6, and I think Nicho Hynes goes to the 14, unless they put Jack White into the 14. But we'll obviously do a stream live when the Origin teams are about to be announced. We'll obviously do a team there. Hynes and Cleary is a must, no exception. I disagree, personally, considering Origin's coming up, and they're both going to be out. But I'm personally going to do it myself. Jack White before Walker. I don't disagree. I think that they could consider doing that before Walker, but in the same sense, Nicho Hynes should get it. Nicho Hynes should get it. Brew Jim says, should I upgrade Dury to another cash cow around 400k? He's an emergency, and I've got 550k. Is it necessary right now? Like, Dury is back row any. Like, have you got Hosking and have you got Hosking and Katoa? Because Dury is in the back row any. In the second row forward section here, isn't he? I'm pretty certain. Yep. So are you saying yep to you've got those 2 players? Or, because if you don't, then I absolutely am getting Zach Hosking this week if you haven't. Zach Hosking for me is a must. Preston and Hoskins and Haas. What do you mean? Oh, have you got Elias Katoa then? I've got them all. You've got Preston and Hoskins and Haas. Well, you didn't say Katoa yet. Wait, Haas is a front row forward, though. Unless you're talking about Cleese Haas. Cleese Haas, I think he's on the bench this week, but... yeah, I got him. Mate, all your back rowers, do you have any big back rowers? Like a Dave Fafita, Cam Murray, stuff like that? Do you have any one of those big boppers there? Like, I'm not going to. No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I'm going to keep Hopgood. I just need to, yeah. Big Payne. Yeah, but Payne's in a different position, bro. Why are you talking about Payne Haas? Payne Haas is in the front row, bro. Why are we talking about that? Why are we talking about that? Payne Haas isn't in the same position. So if you've got Hosking, you've got Katoa, you've got Preston, then I don't really see any other people that you would be jumping on there. For 550k though, let's have a look. I wouldn't get on Josh King. Liam Martin, Jazz Tavanga, Preston. At 550, let's get the filter here so that we don't have to scroll through all these ones bigger. 550k. Jack Chapoyevich, Mitchell Barnett, Jack Johns. No, if you've got all of Elias Katoa, Zach Hosking, and Jacob Preston, then you have no need to trade. You have no need. There's no one in this area that is worth it. For me. No one. Unless you wanted to go Michael Cheekham. I trade Sean Lane this week. It's a shout. This is definitely a shout for sure. Yeah, no. No, there's no one here. There's no one there around that price that you'd be looking at. No point. And... he's not going to get anything, though. Like, there's no point actually having him in your team as well. But I'm just trying to figure out if there's anybody... Like, Simpson just doesn't get the points, really. And these guys are all averaging pretty low points as we go down. There's no one there, man. Like, if you're going to get anybody outside of that in the 550k range, then potentially you'd look at Jack Johns. at 234,000. Jack Johns looks like he's going to be starting there in that lock position for the Knights at the moment, and has played 2 games, got 37.72, and has a break even of minus 36. So I guess that probably is the one you'd go for, because he will start against New Zealand no matter what. If he gets but he's got a projected score of 29. If he gets a 50, then you'll go up about 80k. If he gets 100, then which is his highest score, he'll go up a big amount. I'd probably say Jack Johns, mate, personally, because Dury's not going to do anything for you. He's literally not going to play with all their guys back. But anyway, let's go and firstly put this back in and put Hamiso out. Take his cashola. Take his cashola there. And then go down to 350k so that I can see my area here. Michael Cheekham isn't in the lineup this week. Oh, there you go. Well, I didn't tell him to go for Cheekham anyway. Tom Eisenhuth is a shout here, but he is off the bench, which is like, eh. But Tom Eisenhuth is a shout, to be completely honest with you. But I think that the best play here for me personally is Hayes Dunster. I think Hayes Dunster at 234k is a very, very sneaky pick, especially considering that he is starting there. And it gives me a steal 114k that will leave me with room to play later. And again, I'm not looking necessarily to play him. I'm not really looking to play him at all, really. I'm just looking to have him in my team so I can afford those 2 guys. And then that will help if maybe, like, Josh Schuster's going to break into minus 10. If he could go out and get like an 80 or something like that, that will help me out greatly. And, Katoa, you'd have to look at. We do have to look at a little bit later. But that will be what I do here this week. That will be what I do. So I got Lachlan Ilias to Nathan Cleary, Bryce Cartwright to Zach Hosking, and Tabu Waifado to Hayes Dunster. Confirm. All right, now let's go and switch this all around a little bit. All right, so Hosking for sure is going to be a reserve. I honestly nearly want to just reserve. I nearly want to just do this. Oh, you kind of do want to put Dunster in though, eh? Cronzy, no, I will not be trading Tedesco. I've already lost money on him. I'm going to keep him in. I'm okay with it. I got Trebojevic there anyway. If you're trading Tedesco, you're silly right now. I just want to throw that out there. So what would I do? Do I want to go Hayes Dunster, or do I want to go... I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to go like this. But then again, he plays the Knights. Jackson Ford is playing the Knights. I really do like... Uchulkamano has been fine this year. He has been fine, but in the same sense, I feel like Jackson Ford could do really well. I don't know. I just feel I really like... Like, who cares about the projection score? No one cares about that. Projections mean nothing, really. I just feel like Hayes Dunster could come in here for this Eels team and it be a big game. A big game for the Eels to prove themselves again, especially with Sean Lane back now. Hayes Dunster into the team. I think that's a good play. So who do I captain now? So I've got Cleary versus Manly potentially. Oh no, let's have a look. So who's the first game? First game is Melbourne Roosters. There's no one there that I'd really look to VC between those 2 teams, Bulldogs and Souths. Again, no one there that I'm really looking to VC in that game. Penrith and Manly is on the Saturday games. So maybe just VC Cleary there. No, I think I just need a captain Cleary against Manly, eh? I think you do. If they play as well as they did, Manly do league points. Cleary's due a try as well, realistically. Or you could VC Cleary and then have Dave as your captain. I like that, actually. I'm thinking VC Cleary, captain Dave, and if Cleary goes crazy, then... Oh, who do you bring in, though? Who do you bring in on that Sunday? I'm trying to think. Who can you bring in on that Sunday? No one, really. I can't really play a VC loophole right now. Yeah, I can't really play a loophole right now. Because the Panthers would have played beforehand. There's the Eels, Tigers. And yeah. Because the Sharks. Like, you can't... Yeah, you wouldn't be able to do that. What do you guys think? Are you thinking Captain David Fafita, or are you thinking Captain Nathan Cleary? Let me know in the chat. I know there's not many people here, but what do you think in the chat? Let me know in the chat right now. Who are you captaining this week? There's Val Holmes, there's Nathan Cleary, there's Dave Fee, there's Tino, there is Payne Haas against Canberra as well. This is difficult. It's a difficult thought process here in regards to the captaincy. Hit the like button if you just joined in, exactly right. Nathan says Nathan Cleary. Rod says Cleary. I think that Dragons defense is potential. But then again, it is Toby and Tanner in the halves as well, instead of Kieran. If Kieran was there, if Kieran Foran was there, you'd probably look to Captain Dave. But I think, yeah. Tino did score over 100, though, against the Dragons when they played in round 2 down in St. George, down in Cogra. All right, well, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to put Cleary as the captain, and I'm going to put... Because Dave is due a try, man. Dave is due a try. But there's like literally so many spine plays out. There's only one of the starting spine, and that's Tanner Boyd. Yeah, I'll put VC on Tino. Well, Captain Cleary, obviously follow us on Instagram at BKRsport if you aren't already, and you'll see if I make a change at some point. If I make a change, because I did it with Nico Hines 2 weeks back, and obviously I got the 180 when I had Reece Robson originally, who got 45 or something like that. Captain Cleary and Vice Captain Grant. Well, yeah, the Vice Captain doesn't really do anything in this situation because Cleary will play, right? The only VC thing is, like, if I had a player that I could bring on, because Shakai Mitchell's game, even though he's not playing, would have already been by that time of the Titans game. Unless there's a Broncos Raiders player that I have, I just don't. I just don't. I don't know what it is. I feel like I don't necessarily believe Cleary's going to go crazy this week against Manly. I feel like Manly will muster something up here. But then again, it is in Penrith too. Yeah, look, we're going to leave it like this. We're going to leave Cleary there. But we'll talk over on the streams tomorrow as well. Tomorrow on Good Friday and the likes. Because I'm only thinking between Cleary, Dave Fafita, and Tina Fasil Malawi right now. Even Payne Haas, potentially. We'll talk about it on the streams and whatnot. I'm pretty happy with Hopgood, Hosking, Ford, and Hayes Dunster. But there is the potential that I could look at Utukamanu instead against Parramatta. But I think the Eels could be on for a big win here. So I think that a winger, Hayes Dunster, starter, thanks for coming. I'm pretty happy against that, against the Tigers. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. All right, there you go, guys. So that was the trades that I made this week. That was my decision making. I hope you guys did enjoy. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. We do this every single week. You probably won't be seeing trades for a few weeks, but we'll just be talking through your decision making and the team and our thought process and whatnot. Tomorrow night we've got the Roosters versus the Storm game. Obviously, we're streaming every single. We're streaming 6 games this week because I'll be at the Titans versus St. George game. Unfortunately, I won't be able to stream Knights versus Warriors because I'll be still at the stadium. But I will be here again on Monday as well for the Tigers versus Parramatta. So big weekend of streaming. Should be good. Like I said, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.